morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you may be at. Sometimes no's should be yeses. Sometimes no's should be yeses. All right. I'll give you an example. Life story. I was with this individual. Put them on flights around the world. Very expensive flights around the world. Introduced them to a life that they have never lived before. Previous boyfriends didn't provide. Parents didn't provide. Brothers and sisters didn't provide a new life for them. Because let's just be honest, most men aren't saying, hey, let me book this Emirates business class ticket. Let me book this ticket. Let me book this hotel. Most men aren't putting women on flights, and that's just that's just a fact. Like the average guy or even the above average guy isn't putting women on flights. Let them have free access to funds for the most part. If I seen they were getting a little crazy, I'd probably, block the card. But for the most part, they had access to funds when they needed it. Me and this individual, we've probably been to 100 different restaurants. She's probably been to 50 different nail salons and hair salons, and took care of them. Every week or every 2 weeks, whenever they wanted to do their nails, they had the ability to do so. They could do what they wanted with the funds I provided, either physically or materialistically, as in me giving them a card of mine. And one day, when we were in a particular country, I was trying to have sex, and she was mad, and she said no. All right, listen, let's just be honest with each other. Sometimes we have to do and say things that we don't really want to do when you have an individual in your life that's doing things that you have never experienced before, right? When you have a basic individual, a basic gentleman who's just taking you on dinner dates and buying you a dozen of $25 roses and sending you text messages in the morning, doing average Joe stuff, your response must be average. But when you have an individual who's putting you on airplanes, buying you electronics, sending money to your mother, sending money to your sister, giving money to your brother, you shouldn't really be in a situation to be saying a lot of no's. And, oops, I forgot something. Helping you start businesses. Because I feel that when a woman comes in my life, we have to uplift each other. Like when a woman comes in my life, I have to leave a better man, and most definitely I try to ensure that she's leaving, or not necessarily leaving, but is a better woman throughout our relationship. I don't want a woman to come into my life and she's the same individual. She don't have a business. She don't have a job. She's not trying to better herself and no business or financial means possible. I try to bring women up. I try to level them up. As a whole, we just can't sit around and be complacent with what we got going on, whether it's our job, it's our career. We gotta want and do more. So I did fund the initial supplies and material for 2 different businesses. But the point being is sometimes you can't say no. Sometimes you can't say no. Women, when a man is doing so much for you and providing for you a life that you have never experienced before, you can't say no. Submitting shouldn't even be a question, right? If that man says, hey, I'm trying to be kissing on you and loving on you, and he's trying to get some, it should never be a no. Unless you're on your period, you just got into a car accident, it should never be no. And that is the problem that I've had with dating international women, is Sometimes these no's should be yeses. And let's just backtrack for a second. Let's say you're an average Joe man who's only taking a woman on dates and buying her, cheap flowers. I was doing that in high school. I was doing that in middle school. I remember trying to borrow my dad's car, take a girl out to Red Lobster. This is like 10th grade, and I bought some roses and some chocolates. That's average Joe things. That's what average Joes do. So these guys that's coming over here waving this "I'm Western, you must submit" card is total BS. Just because you're an American or you're from the West or wherever the case may be doesn't mean that when you come overseas a woman should submit. That's stupid. That's an idiotic frame of mind. What are you doing? What are you providing to put her in the situation that she is more willing to submit? Right? And don't get me wrong, I've done more for women than most men, most regular men in this world. And I told someone one time, if a woman leaves me, the only better man she's gonna get is a NBA player. Like men aren't. I've spent thousands upon thousands of dollars on just on airline tickets, But a man has to be in a situation to where a woman is willing to submit. Don't get me wrong, you got some of these women out here, oh, you're from this country, you're from this state, oh, I'm going to submit. What do you need? I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to go out my way, bend over backwards to see you happy. But when you find a strong woman, mostly outside of Asia, because a lot of these, no disrespect, a lot of these women in Asia don't really have a backbone. But when you find a strong woman, let's say South America, let's say Africa, where they're black, where they look like you, and they ain't put out with a lot of shit, you got to do more for them than dinner and cheap roses, right? So men, I challenge you to do more. I challenge you to do more, to have higher expectations for yourself so that you can have higher expectations for that female. Don't just wave that Western card and say, hey, she should be submitted. Yeah, maybe in Thailand, Philippines, Laos, Cambodia, you may find one. But have the higher expectations for yourself so you know what you're bringing to the table and she understands what you're bringing to the table. But unfortunately, I've run into an individual. I'm not saying individuals. An individual. There are individuals out there who unfortunately are going to take advantage of you. Unfortunately are going to take advantage of you. You're going to give so much, and they're going to give so little. But hold on for a second. What did you expect? When you come over here to these poor countries and find these poor women, what did you expect them to bring to the table? So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Makes you think, doesn't it? What do I expect from this financially disadvantaged young lady to bring to the table besides for sex, besides for looks? Makes you think. But I'm at this point in my life where I'm just chilled. I'm not looking for no relationship. I'm not really looking for anything. I'm just working on a relationship with myself because I've spent more money than probably 10 guys you can name on women, and what did I get in return? I got a lot of no's when those no's should have been yeses. When a man is trying to build you up, help you start businesses, financially take care of you, put you in a position where you don't have to work. Because I believe if I'm with a woman, she doesn't have to work. She can work if she wants to. She can sleep till noon. I'm a provider. A man's job is to protect and provide. But when I'm doing so much and I'm getting so little in return, it makes you think. But I challenge women to understand what your partner is bringing, what they are doing, and the sacrifices they are making for you. And I challenge women to attempt to reciprocate that, and not by a financial means, but however you see fit. And understand that sometimes a thank you goes a long ways. Sometimes I appreciate you goes a long ways. Sometimes I see what you're doing. I see the sacrifices you're making. That goes a long ways. And that's a problem that women have a problem doing and have a problem saying is thank you. Thank you, continent jumper. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate what you did. I see the money you're spending. I see the sacrifices you're making. Thank you. And I challenge men to do better for themselves. Don't just wave this, hey, I'm Western card up and you must submit. That's not the answer. Because if you're struggling, but you're Western, and she's struggling, you just got two struggling motherfuckers. I challenge men and women to better themselves. I challenge men and women to better themselves. This passport bro stuff is not easy. It's not easy. Sometimes I think, hey, is dating international the right way or the wrong way? But we won't get into that in another video. Until next time.